Hello students, welcome to MJC Learning. Today we will continue with part 4 of chapter number 7, National Income of Economics. So let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn about different methods of measuring national income. In earlier videos, that is in part 1, part 2 and part 3, you have already learned about different concepts of national income. What is national income? The introduction part of national income. And also you have learned about the circular flow of national income. From this video, that is in part 4, we are going to cover different methods of measuring national income. So basically part 4, part 5 and part 6 will cover the methods of measuring national income. Measuring national income means how do we measure national income? Now you know that national income is monetary or money value of all goods and services that takes place in a country in a period of 1 year. But there are different methods by which the national income can be calculated, and different countries adopt different method as per their convenience. So let us see which are the three methods of measuring national income. The first method of measuring national income is the output method, which is also called as product method or inventory method. Now you can easily remember this method, the description of these methods as per their names. Now first method, as I told you, the output method. So basically it takes into consideration from production side. Second method is the income method. As the name suggests, it takes into consideration the income part. And third method is the expenditure method. So while understanding this method, you need to understand the expenditure part of national income. And there are also three sector model. In three sector model where government sector is added, and in four sector model where foreign sector is government sector, both the sectors are included. Well, we are not taking into consideration three sector model and four sector model. Basically, we are going to learn about three methods, that is the output method or the product method, the income method and the expenditure method. In this video, we will start with the output method. What do we understand by output method or product method or inventory method? Now, output method means whatever output we get from the production. That means output method basically deals with the production side. The method approaches national income from the output side. Output means whatever final production takes place. If a commodity is made, so let's say from cotton a shirt is made, so shirt will be your final output. Then from sugarcane, sugar is made, so sugar will be your output. So that way, from in output method we consider from the production side. According to this method, the economy is divided into different sectors. We know there are three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary, three sectors. So we could take into consideration that economy is divided into three sectors, that is agriculture, mining, manufacturing, small enterprises, commerce, transport, communication and other services. The output or product method is followed either by valuing all the final goods and services produced during a year at their market price, or by adding up all the values at each higher stage of production until these products are turned into final products. Now when we consider about this output method, there are two ways to calculate output method, because sometimes what happens, double counting can create a problem in output method. Double counting means each product is counted for two times. To avoid this, there are two methods. First is the final goods approach or the final products approach, and other is the value added approach. Now what happens, in first method, that is final goods approach, we take into consideration value of final goods and services. For example, if we talk about sugar, let's say. So we take into consideration final price of a sugar, market price of a sugar in final goods approach. That means whatever good was, whatever production took place from sugarcane, sugar is made, but we just take into consideration final sugar prices in which all the prices are included, that is raw material prices, electricity charges, then sugarcane charges, then processing charges, everything is included, and we take into consideration market price of a sugar. So this is final goods where we consider a product is finally made and we consider that amount. And second is value added approach. Value added means, as name says, value is added. So now here, instead of counting at the end, we count at each level of processing or at each level of production. That is from again sugarcane, sugar is made. So now what we do in this, we add up all the values, that is from the beginning. If we start, we take into consideration value of sugarcane, then sugarcane's processing charges, then from processing other raw material which were used, then plus electricity charges, plus packaging charges. So at different level, whatever charges we have paid, a producer has paid, that charges are add up, and so that it is called as value added approach. Let us see that in detail. First is final goods approach or final product approach. Now I have already given you the brief idea about what final good approach means. You just need to understand these words. The words itself says many things. Final goods approach means when goods are finally made to sell in the market and we consider directly that prices. Final goods are those goods which are ready for final consumption. So which are the final goods? They are ready for consumption, means ready goods. According to this, value of all final goods and services produced in primary, secondary and tertiary sector are included, and the value of all intermediate transactions are ignored. So we take into consideration directly final charges, final products charges, and intermediate transaction means whatever we did processing in between, we do not add up again that thing. For example, if we count price of sugar, let's say final price of market value of sugar is 50 rupees. Now again in 50 rupees, we do not add up sugarcane charges 10 rupees, raw material charges 10 rupees. Why? Because this all charges are already included in market price, which is 50 rupees. Now again if we add up 10 rupees of raw material, 10 rupees of sugarcane, then what will happen? It will lead to double counting. So all intermediate transactions are ignored and we just take into consideration value of final goods and services. For example, wheat and flour are both intermediate goods because flour is made from the wheat. That means when we turn wheat into flour, so processing charges we do not add again, because it is when we made the final price, in that processing charge was already included. This is final goods approach. So now let's see final goods versus value added. Now you can see bread is made. Starting from the wheat is grown in the field, from that processing charges, then wheat is turned into flour, then flour is made into dough, and then dough is baked into oven, and from oven it is bread is ready. Now at every stage, what happens in value added, we take we take into consideration prices at every stage. Like we take wheat prices, then we also include flour charges, then we also include oven electricity charges. All these values are added where in value added approach, but in final goods we add up all the values, of course, but then we take into consideration the final amount. That is, a bread costing for example is 30 rupees, so we take into consideration directly 30 rupees. We do not consider again all this processing charge, everything. We do not add that thing. We directly take into consideration 30 rupees. So this is the difference between final goods and value added. Now let us see value added approach. In order to avoid double counting, value added approach is used. Now what happens? Sometimes when we go for the final goods approach, by mistakenly, if in final product we add up again raw material charges, then it will lead to double counting. So most of the cases, value added method is used to avoid double counting. So what happens at each stage of production, they count the values. Suppose 10 rupees for sugarcane, plus 10 rupees for other raw material, plus 10 rupees for processing, plus 10 rupees for electricity. That way it comes to 50 rupees. So what they take each stage amount, that is 10 rupees plus 10 rupees plus 10 rupees, and that way it comes to 50 rupees. Okay, let us go to second point. According to this approach, the value added at each stage of production process is included. As I told you, at each stage whatever values are spent, we add up that values. GNP is obtained as the sum total of the values added by all the different stages of production process till the final output is reached in the hands of consumers to meet the final demand. That means we add a value of the goods or the production process till we get the final product, till the final product is ready. GNP stands for gross national product. I have already explained that in detail in part 3 video. Now, one more example of value added method to make you more clear about this. For example, now here suppose shirt, we are talking about shirt. In retail store we get a shirt. Now shirt is made from the cotton. So from cotton, first we will take into consideration the price of cotton. Then from cotton thread is made. So now whatever processing charge to make from cotton to thread, whatever processing charges are used, that we take into consideration. Now from thread, the cloth is made, and from cloth the stitching charges, and then shirt is made. So if every stage we take into consideration the amount which was spent, and finally a shirt is ready. So again we do not take that shirt prices into consideration, because then again it will become double counting. So at each stage, for example, 100 rupees cotton, 100 rupees thread, then 100 rupees weaving charges, then 200 rupees processing charge from thread to a from cloth to a shirt. So that will come to 400 rupees. So then final price plus all the other taxes that comes into consideration, and suppose 500 rupees will a shirt will cost. So here what we have done, we have added up the value at each stage of production. This is what value added method is. It is very simple. Just remember, the word itself gives you meaning. One is final goods, where you consider only the final goods approach. Suppose a shirt is ready, you see in the market, when shirt goes to the market for selling, that shirt costs 500 rupees. So here what you are doing, you are just directly considering 500 rupees of shirts. But in value added, what you are doing, you are not taking directly 500 rupees into consideration, but at each stage you are counting how much is spent. This is what the difference between final goods and value added method. This is one more example. It goes the same way. Now there are certain precautions which we need to consider while estimating national income by output method. There are some of the precautions, means some certain things which we need to consider while estimating national income by output method. First is double counting has to be avoided. That is obvious. Again, otherwise we are paying 2 times for the same product. Goods used for self-consumption by farmers should be estimated by a guesswork is included in national income. Now, especially if we talk about agricultural products, so whatever agricultural production takes place, certain part farmer keeps for their self consumption. अपने घर के खुद के यूज के लिए वो अपने कुछ पार्ट निकाल के रखते हैं. सपोज कि वीट ग्रो किया, if they have grown 100 quintals of wheat, they will not sell all 100 quintals. Maybe they will keep certain 10 quintals, 20 quintals for their self consumption. So that all counting also has to be added in national income. But what happens that that part which was kept for their self consumption, that goes into estimation, guesswork. So approximate amount is taken into consideration by a guesswork. Then third point is indirect taxes included in the market prices are to be deducted. Now whatever final market prices are done at the, let's say sugar is done as 40 rupees and plus taxes comes to 50 rupees. By why we add up taxes? Because government impose indirect taxes on each commodity. So this indirect taxes or whatever taxes are imposed on this commodity, that has to be deducted. So we just take into consideration only the production thing and we do not add up any taxes into that. And uh, subsidies means whatever benefits are given by the government, that has to be added. Then last year, slide last point, changes in the price level between different years must be taken into account. That is, at different level, different years, there are different price level as per the situation of the economy. There are different price level in different years, so that also has to be taken into consideration. Then value of export should be added and value of import should be avoided. So whatever export is done from this country, from our country to other country, that has to be taken into consideration, and whatever we have imported from other country to our country has to be deducted or avoided. Then depreciation of capital assets should be deducted. Now depreciation I have already explained in part 1, part 3 video. So you must be very clear that depreciation is wear and tear of capital, that has to be deducted. Sale and purchase of second hand goods should be ignored as it is not part of current consumption. So if a product is again sold, if it is second hand product, uh, if a mobile is produced after few months, you have brought a new mobile and after 4 months 5 months again you are selling it to your friend, that means that is again you are charging it for two times. So that will not be taken in, that amount will not be taken into consideration. We take only the fresh amount when the for one first time mobile was purchased. So these are the certain precautions which you need to take into consideration while estimating national income by output method. In next video, that is in part 5 video, we will understand about the income method. I hope you have understand this video. Thank you so much.